Edgar Allan Poe was born in 1809 in Boston, Massachusetts. He died in 1849 in Baltimore, Maryland. He attended the University of Virginia and West Point. He worked for magazines and other literary odd jobs throughout his life. He married in 1835, but unfortunately his wife died 2 years later. I'm discussing To Helen today. My critic of choice is James W. Gargano. Poe's To Helen is the name of his work. Helen, of course, is the unifying symbol of the poem. Since she represents ideal love, however, it is not arbitrary to assume that she must be incongruously associated with the archetypal representative of sexual love. I should like to suggest that when Poe conceived of Helen as spiritual love, the traditional Helen suffered a sea change. A new Helen emerged, the very antithesis of the destructive beauty, whose face launched 1,000 ships and burnt the topless towers of Ilium. In the poem, Helen does not launch the poet onto seas towards a protracted war. Instead, through her spiritual influence, she resolves his conflict with desperate seas by gently guiding him home. Gargano is talking about Helen of Troy, and he's, since that's most likely the Helen that Poe is talking about. I chose the last stanza of this poem. Lo, in yon brilliant window niche, how statue-like I see thee stand, the agate lamp within thy hand. Ah, Psyche from the regions which are the Holy Land. The narrator sees Helen from afar, and her statue-like beauty means that she is beautiful enough to be preserved in stone for all time. The pretty lamp in her hand was her means of guiding the sea traveler home. He then compares her to Psyche, the goddess of the soul, and says that she comes from the Holy Land. That makes her an angel of sorts. The narrator objectifies Helen. She's beautiful and his guide home, but she's always out of reach. He's either overseas, but even in the last stanza, he's standing on the outside looking in. He sees her in the window. He's not there next to her. This tells me that she's unobtainable. He is not able to be with Helen. She's the apple that you're never able to touch.